Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to another review. This time is the Bandai SH Figuarts Bucky, aka the Winter Soldier, from Avengers Infinity War. So, let's get started. I know I took a while to do this. Been chilling, taking a break. But I want to jump into reviews and be more refreshed and delighted to do things. So that's what we're doing here. Anyway, Bucky came out really nice. I think the look of him actually does look a ton better from the initial stock photos that we were seeing of him. As you can see here, if I put a little light on it, it actually looks like him. The issue is that the face is a little fat. I think his face is a lot more thin in real life, but I think that the look is definitely there. It's no super glossy hair. I know a lot of people hate that. I don't really mind it, but under light, it does look really nice. It glows and reflects light very well, as well as the arm as well. The arm looks really dope under light. As you can see here, it has a nice metallic sheen to it that no matter what you do, it actually has a nice glow to it. And the rest of the vest is actually a semi-gloss design, and the rest is matted down. But overall, I like the plain and simple look of this. I think it's really nice. I don't think there's much limited except for the collar and the hair, which kind of limit your articulation for the head. But we're going to get into that right now. Anyway, as far as articulation goes, the head is pretty limited in the way of way the hair and the collar are, but you can still pretty much turn them all the way. You could have turned him all the way around. I got a little excessive there, but you can turn him left. You can turn him right. You can look down. You can look somewhat up, but not a lot. And that's where the ab articulation comes in. But we're going to go with the arms first. So arm-wise, as you can see, I pulled his arm down a little. There's that rotating articulation that's inside the arm that allows it to rotate all the way around. There's a butterfly joint on the inside that allows for extra articulation, especially when holding weapons, which is what Winter Soldier does. The same can be done right here on this arm. You rotate it through. There's a butterfly joint, and it can rotate easily around. One quick thing I want to point out is that you can easily pop out his arm if you want him to be armless Winter Soldier, for those of you that are going to go with those jokes. And it pops right back in very easily. The arms are double jointed on both ends, so that's really nice. There we go. So as you can see, it's going to be something limiting you here for the arm. So this is about as far as it goes without bracing back. So keep that in mind. And as you can see on this one, you pretty much can do the same very easily. You actually get a little bit of rotation left and right to wiggle as well. As far as ab crunch goes, it goes this far back. It goes pretty far forward before you pop it off. If you want to take your figure apart and shave this down somewhat, you can. It will make it easier for you to have ab articulation, but yes, it will be ugly unless you know how to paint, which I do not know how to do. So you can actually rotate left and right. You can rotate forward and have a decent crunch, but you will be having an open-ended back end right here. So if you don't know how to close that off, you're going to have some issues. Next up, leg articulation. Now, you can pop the knife off very easily. You don't have to keep it on there, so you don't have to worry about anything. If you get Milliworks straps that he uses for 1/12, it does work on the Bucky. So shout out to Milliworks. I appreciate you, man. Thank you. So you can see it uses the drop-down leg method. There is a thigh swivel as well, and it rotates this far up. And the leg is single jointed, not double jointed. So this is about as far up as it's going to go, which is a little bit of a bummer. I was hoping it would be double jointed, but a single joint is just as fine. Has ankle pivot just as easy as well, and toe pivot as well, in case you can't see it from the other angle. Now, the legs drop, let me take the knife out. The legs can drop down and move out, but not really far. This is about as far as you're getting. Backwards, that's about as far as you get. Forward, well, you can high kick somebody. So you give the Hulk Hogan boot if you have that in mind. So there's always that. All in all, I think the design is really great. I'm happy we got a Bucky. Wish we got a little more in terms of articulation, especially with the knees only being single jointed. But considering Bucky's not a kick guy, you can still get a decent amount of articulation out of it. Let's put him up to some posing real fast. I'm not going to give Bucky any guns yet, because we're going to go over that 1 second. So you can still pose pretty good with him, as you can see here. It's not one of those issues where you're going to have that. So you have that right there. Next up, we're going to go over the accessories that he comes with. And the first thing I want to talk about is the extra faceplate. I really wish that we didn't get a faceplate where it's just him looking over and the eyes just looking to the side. It does have a very grim look. It does look very nice, but I would have preferred something different. Maybe a yelling head for shooting weapons. But then again, I noticed that he's also a really stoic guy. So maybe I'm just asking for a little bit too much. But that's what we get. And the faceplate just removes by, you remove the plate on the face and it comes right out. It's part hair, part face, as you can see here by wiggling it out. So I'm going to keep that there. So let's keep Bucky like this for a second. Next up, we're going to talk about hands. So you get 2 open palms that you're going to get. One to match his cybernetic arm, one to match his real arm. And then you're going to get a hand for holding the rifle, as if we were going to point and shoot, military style, and one for holding the rifle. And then you also get his sweet, sweet gun that Rocket wants. The magazine is right here. It clips into the side. So as you can see, it's like this. It is not very painted. It's just straight up black. I don't know the actual colors of this weapon or what it would be, but it looks nice in black. If you want to give it some detail, I'm sure you can by weathering it. But with the hand holding option, I want to point out that even though this is the hand for just holding the gun whatsoever, I'm not sure if I can zoom in just enough, or if you can see it, they ever so slightly leave it so that he can also hold a gun in this hand as well by leaving a semi left out trigger finger. So keep that in mind, guys. Keep that in mind. So that's what you get with Bucky. It's not a lot, but all in all, I think it's a really nice figure. I think it aims to cover the job of the amount of status he actually had in the film, which wasn't a lot. But it's very nice to get a figure of him. I think that's really good. Let me fix this. And I think that's really good. All in all, I'm happy with what I got, especially because you may not get another Winter Soldier figure again, or you may not. I'm pretty sure it will be, but it'll be sometime before we get one. And we haven't gotten a really good one from Legends in a while. So this will be a nice counterpart for me. I like the look, like the way it stands. I like it. But if it doesn't have enough accessories for you or doesn't have enough articulation, I could totally see why you wouldn't buy it. So it's really up to you. Anyway, let's get into those size comparisons that we all know and love. First and foremost, going to compare him to Cap. And the reason why that is because Bucky and Cap go together like peanut butter and jelly. So as we can see, Cap's a little bit bigger than Bucky, which is totally fine by me. I'm not even mad about that. I actually like the size comparison. He's a little bit bigger, especially because they aim for Cap to be a tall guy. But if they're supposed to be around the same size in the movie universe, it's whatever to me. But it's totally fine with this because I'm going to use them for more comic book stuff than I do movie stuff. Next up, here we have Black Widow. Black Widow is pretty good size. She's not much bigger than Winter Soldier, but big enough that you can see the size difference in between them. So that's pretty good. Next up, we're going to compare with Black Panther from SHF. Black Panther's a really hefty size. He's technically bigger than both of them, so that's pretty cool. Really nice, though. They actually look really good together. Next up, we're going to compare him to the Mezco Captain America. So will he work well with Mezco Cap? Probably not. Not unless you're going to mess around and tweak it a little bit. But he might be a little too bulky for them. Normally, I would say yes, but he might be a little bit too bulky. Next, we're going to compare him to a Figma ruler. Just to show you the non-scale comparison between the two. So as you see, Figma ruler is quite a bit smaller. It's much more smaller than him. Next up, we're going to compare it to, my Figma Kit Bash. Let's do that. Oh, no. Let's not do that. Let's actually compare him to Kamen Rider Kuga, who I need to stand up straight because I had him posed. So let's fix that up. On and off the camera. So next to Kuga, he's actually quite a bit bigger, which I don't really mind. But they seem to be in a close enough scale. Here he is next to a 1/12 scale synthetic human from 1000 Toys. 1000 Toys seem to be that good, perfect height that mixes in with everything, which is really dope. Next, we're going to compare him to a Marvel Legends Namor, because they were all on the Invaders together, so I want to compare them. Namor seems like a pretty good height. Bigger, because Namor is, Imperious Rex, that king. So that's a really, really nice size. You know what? Let's compare it to a Mythic Legions Skeleton Soldier. While in the background, I fixed Spider-Man so we can see how he looks next to Spider-Man. So here he is next to SHF Spider-Man. Now remove the Skull Soldier. And I'm also going to throw in the Hulk. So next to the new Infinity War Hulk, that's the size that he's looking like. Then we're also going to put out Thanos. So we're going to show Thanos. So size-wise, I think Bucky's a good height. Not too big, not too small. I think he's perfectly in that right in between stage, which I prefer, which I'm okay with. In the meantime, guys, hope you enjoyed. Hope you found it informative. But most of all, I hope you do good, be good, and drink your water, guys. Later. One thing real quick that I did forget to point out is that Bucky can hold Legends weapons as well as little armory weapons in his left and right hand. So just keep that in mind. So if you have a cache of weapons, it totally works out just fine. Some of the Mezco 112 weapons you can fit, but not all of them. But I want to make sure I point that out. So thank you for watching, guys. Appreciate you. Later.